Take one. Filming.
Oh, man. All right, how we doing today?
All right.
Today we're going to be teaching Overhaul. Everybody should be familiar with the topic.
Oh, man.
My name is Brandon Darrell Smith. Been on the fire department 4 years from Memphis, Tennessee. Graduated from Fairleigh High School. We're here at Station 41. Everybody knows the restroom is right here. Class is going to be about 20 to 30 minutes. We're going to have a test at the end. Also, there's going to be a demonstration of practical skill, pulling silk. Overhaul, we're going to have a presentation, like I said. It's going to comprise of a PowerPoint. We're going to have a discussion while going through the PowerPoint. There's going to be a skill assessment after the PowerPoint. Then we're going to take a small quiz. Everybody has their documentation and training?
Yes, sir.
All right. Before we begin, what is Overhaul? Anybody have any tidbits? Overhaul? Louis Smith?
Overhaul is trying to salvage, equipment, and we look for hidden fires and hidden, try to salvage what you can about structure or something like that.
Okay. It's comprised of different things. We have searching for and extinguishing hidden fires, as he stated, placing the building in its containments in a safe condition, determining the case of the fire, recognizing and preserving evidence of arson. All these together coincide with what we're doing during Overhaul. We have to keep all these things in mind as to not destroy evidence, but also trying to put the building in a condition where it's somewhat safe. It's not always feasible, depending on what's going on and what has transpired during the fire. Strategies and tactics. The incident commander and fire investigator should authorize when Overhaul begins. Why is that?
Because you don't want to mess up that evidence that might be, cases partial or something like that.
Yeah, as we stated before, we want to make sure, like I said, the fire is put out. We want to make sure we have an investigator in place so that we can determine the cause of the fire. Also, we're not eliminating evidence or removing some of the things that they may need to determine the cause of the fire. Pipe holes, axes, prying tools, saws, shovels are just some of the tools that are used. We use some of everything, just depends on what we have, what needs to be eliminated, different things of that nature. Avoid disturbing potential evidence needed to determine the cause of the fire. We're going to continue to reiterate that. It's obviously one of the major things. We're trying to determine if there's arson involved, was it accidental, was it electrical, was it in the wall? It just depends. A lot of times it's going to be food on the stove. All right, safety considerations. One of the main things, safety. Overall, it's strenuous work. So you might want to consider getting some of the crews in there, obviously taking a break, swapping out individuals, maybe the RIT team. Just depends on what you have at your disposal. Firefighters may be fatigued and may overlook hazards. You don't want that to happen. That can also be something that's unsafe. IC should consider using a fresh crew for overhaul, as I stated before. Structural integrity may be compromised by the fire. Always need to be on the lookout for steam, fires hitting in the walls, water that may have been pooled in certain areas after put on the fire. After so much water being put into the building, it's going to be difficult for the building to maintain its structural integrity. Also, limited visibility. In the winter time, be on the lookout for icy surfaces. The water we put on the fire may have frozen over, making it slippery during overhaul proceedings. Air may not be safe to breathe. That's why we try to use the gas monitor to make sure that the conditions are safe for us to go in. Most of the time, we want to keep our SCBAs while we're doing overhaul. Charge hose lines should always be present. Why is that? Spot fires are always, could be anywhere, it could be in the walls, different things of that nature. Firefighters must wear full PPE with SCBA. Safety officer should be present. Why is the safety officer present?
Safety.
Safety pretty much goes without saying. Safety. Alright, some more safety conditions. Company officers should supervise operations and look for hazards. They also kind of work in tandem with the fire investigators. If there is no investigator, they are the fire investigators. They're trying to determine the cause of the fire. Look for indications of possible structural collapse. That kind of go hand in hand with the structural integrity of the structure, making sure we're working in a safe environment. With all things considered, obviously, do not compromise the structural integrity of the building. Removing load-bearing walls, different things of that nature. We definitely don't want to do anything like that. IC may call for hydraulic overhaul or a fire watch, such as ruins detail, as we know. Locating hidden fires. Lieutenant kind of spoke on this. Always consider the structural condition of the building and water used. I touched on that earlier. That always needs to be in your mind. If we're flowing so much water on the second floor, the building can come undone, different things like that. Concrete spalling due to heat, water pooled on upper floors, mortar in the wall joints open due to excessive heat, large quantities of wet insulation. There's some things to be looking at when you're opening up these walls. Locating hidden fires. Continue. Site discoloration of materials, peeling paint, rippling wallpaper, and burned areas. Touch. Heat felt through walls and floors. That's obviously not with an ungloved hand while we're searching these areas. Sounds. Popping, crackling of fire, burning, hissing of steam. Could be indications of further fires on the walls. Something needs to be further investigated. Electronic sensors, thermal heat engine, signature detection, infrared heat detection. The tick camera is going to be our best friend in finding these hidden fires on the walls. They can get into those small crevices that we necessarily can't see, and it gives us kind of a second set of eyes on everything that's going on around us in the surroundings. Overall procedures. Understanding basic building construction will aid in locating spot fires. Why do you think that is?
Well, when it comes to building construction, you want to know what you got in your FMZ, and as far as locating hot spot fires, different building constructions would have different like knee walls and stuff like that, or you got your like you say your load bearing walls. You got your fire load on some building, like on your restaurants, like small restaurants, like fast food restaurants. You got your heating and air conditioning units on top of it, on top of that, and then it's an open space, so those right there cause hazards to firefighters, as well as fires and hidden fires, grease fires, and things of that nature.
So obviously knowing the buildings that we're going into is going to help a great deal. Like he alluded to, the HVAC system can provide some path of travel for the fire. Partitions, false walls, like the Family Dollars, they can also provide some other challenges.
Drop ceilings,
other things like that can provide some difficulties with firefighters. Gas monitors should be used to measure CO2 levels for safety. We just got these gas monitors at our department, so we try to use those before we go in and start overhaul. Tick cameras assist to identify heat signatures throughout the structure. We kind of touched on that earlier. Now that everybody has a tick camera on the SCBA, it's going to be easier for them to locate, and we don't have to rely on one tick camera throughout the company. Structural integrity. Always consider whether the space contains wiring, gas piping, or plumbing. Avoid removing load-bearing components. Consideration should be given to the future repair of the structure. This is something that I don't think everybody takes into consideration. Some firemen just kind of destroy crap when they come into a house. you wanna keep in mind that this is somebody's home, and you don't wanna come in there tearing up a kitchen if you don't necessarily have to. If you have to take certain things out, we're gonna do that, but there's a certain way to do that. Reduction of unnecessary damage is a sign of professionalism from the fireman. Like I just stated, you don't want to just destroy someone's home. This is a trying time for them. It's probably the worst day of their life, so you don't want to just come in and just wrecking crap just because it caught on fire. Got something to add to this?
Well, yeah, you like in different neighborhoods, and I remember we were in Fireman Jackson, Department of Fire. The family didn't have much. Some firemen go in there and start doing salvage overhaul or tearing up stuff. I understand we looking for hidden fire, but if you take it out a wall and you don't see anything else, stop. Start using salvage cover. Like I said, use salvage cover, try to preserve as much. Like I said, some people, that's all they got. You know what I'm saying? And if that's all they got, we just looking at, we trying to do a job, but sometimes some people go above and beyond, and some people, your firefighters, man, that was a good fire, man, that's a good fire, man. You gotta realize these people are listening. They taking a loss. We're saying, man, that's a good fire we had, man. That ain't good. That ain't good. That ain't good for them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you got to be mindful. Going there, doing salvage, do it so you don't have to get a rekindle. But you most definitely don't do it to the point where you just tearing up everything.
Yeah, I think a lot of firemen kind of miss the mark when it comes to that, because obviously we're trying to stabilize an incident, life safety, incident stabilization, and property conservation. We're trying to conserve the property as best we can after we mitigate the situation. So that always needs to be something that we can keep in mind. Alright, got something here. Overhaul has several objectives that require company-wide cooperation, all the way down from the incident commander, who could be a BC or it could be the lieutenant, just depending on how big that incident command structure gets on this particular scene. The IC and fire investigators are in charge of the scene when we get to the overhaul portion. Safety. That's always going to be our number one topic, regardless of what's going on. We're going to make sure that we're safe, make sure that we can provide services the safest we can, depending on the incident that we have. Locate hidden fires while minimizing damage to the structure when we're doing overhaul.
Hey, let me add something to that real quick.
Go ahead.
About with your strike team, stuff like that.
Go ahead.
And everybody understands what a strike team is. You got your just kind of adds that. Strike teams. You have like pumpers and trucks doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. So you have like 3 or 4 pumpers, or 3 or 4 trucks, that's company wide, doing the same thing, whether it be salvage overhaul, whether it be firefighter operations. So you might have like on high rise or something like that, or a large structure, and might have all the truck companies do one thing, and then all the pumper companies do one thing. Company wide cooperation.
Yeah, and the incident commander, he's gonna navigate that, depending on whatever the structure is and the size of the incident. He's gonna delegate who does what teams kind of correlate with one another. So we just have to make sure that everybody's on the same page, company-wide cooperation. Always wear full PPE, including SCBA. Select the proper tool to get the job done. Ensure there's a charge hose line present at all times. Touched on that. Thermal imaging camera can assist greatly in the search of hot spots. Life safety, incident stabilization, and property conservation are the objectives. In that equation, this last one, which one does overhaul fall up under? The life safety, incident stabilization, and property conservation. Property conservation, that's the end of the spectrum from what we're trying to accomplish. So a lot of time, once we get to this step, it's kind of like we've completed our task, but we still are trying to serve our customers, who is the person whose place caught on fire, whoever it is, what business is losing business because it caused on fire.
It actually falls on incident stabilization also, because during overhaul, one of the primary objectives is finding hotspots. So we're still trying to stabilize the incident also.
Very true.
So it can fall under both of them.
Very true. Make a good point. grouping those two together, but we're getting closer to the end of what we're trying to accomplish, so a lot of people kind of get more lax and they tend to lose sight of having any structural objectives when we're doing overhaul. Alright, skill assessment. Do I have a volunteer to come do the demonstration? Opening the ceiling?
Pick somebody, man. Pick somebody.
Alright, we're gonna simulate opening the ceiling. Obviously, we're not gonna do it. We have a pipe hole here. We're gonna select the appropriate length pipe hole. I think 6 feet.
How do you determine it?
Depending on what type of structure you have, residential 6 to 8 would be fine. Some of your larger buildings maybe go 12 and 14, depending on what your department carries. Determine the area to be open. Determine the area to be open. You're gonna look up, see what you have, kind of size it up. Position yourself with your back towards the door so that you don't block the exit that you have. Using a thrust motion, penetrate the ceiling with a spike.
Nope.
Other way.
Nope.
Flip around. There you go.
Look the wrong way.
Push it up. Alright, face the hook side of the tip away from yourself. Like that. Alright. Pull down away from your body. Alright. Continue pulling down until the desired opening area is open. Pull down any insulation found in the ceiling. Alright, great job. Appreciate it. So good, man. Alright, including a good firefighter knows how, but an educated firefighter knows why. Chris Wallace, do we have any questions, concerns, comments?
You did a good job, man. Good job.
Good job.
Good.
Good
Good
job.
job.
Thank you.
Good, man. Good day, man. Good job, Doc.
Alright, this version 1.
What?
You did a good job up to this point.
You got the answer, man?
What sort of personal protective equipment should firefighters wear during overhaul?
B.
A, level A, or B, entry suit. B, full PPE with SCBA. C, turnout gear without SCBA. D, regular uniform clothing. Everybody ready?
Mm-hmm.
During overhaul, what should be available to douse any hot spots that occur? A, Class A fire extinguisher. B, pipe pole and halogen bar. C, thermal blanket. Or D, charged hose line.
See,
What?
During overhaul, what should be available to douse any hot spots that occur?
Eight.
see,
Everybody good on that?
Yeah.
Before a firefighter can work without SCBA, the atmosphere must be tested and determined safe by A, safety officer. B, incident commander. C, RIT leader. D, department captain.
B.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody good?
Wait till that one.
Structural integrity may be compromised during overhaul. True or false? Everybody ready?
Mm-hmm.
A pipe pole is the only tool you will need during overhaul operations.
chest version.
Says version 1.
We're right there. Version 1.
Hey, Smith, man, you did good, man.
Thank you.
All right.